Have you guys ever wondered how a fuel pump handle shuts off the fuel when you put the handle in the vehicle after it gets so full? Well, let's look in the end of this fuel pump handle right here. I bet you never took it and pointed it at your face, have you? See this little, like, line looking deal that goes back into the handle? It's got a hole in the bottom of it right here. That's a vent line, a vapor line that ends up going back into the head of this right here. And there's like a diaphragm that fills up. And that vapor, as the fuel's filling up inside the fuel tank, keeps pushing up inside this pump into that little hole as you're filling up. And it goes into this head and it keeps the little diaphragm pumped up. Once the fuel actually rushes up the filler neck all the way up to the top while the nozzle's in it, the fuel will actually go up in that little line and it'll travel up so far and it'll cut it off. Well, that doesn't stay pumped up anymore and it triggers the handle to pop. The vehicle's full. What ends up happening when you continue to pull the handle over and over and over and over and over again, trying to get your OCD number on the screen, you backfill fuel, backfill fuel, backfill fuel, backfill fuel over and over and over, and the vent line that is actually in the side of this line that goes to your charcoal canister gets raw fuel pushed down that line into your charcoal canister, essentially damaging your evap system. Eventually, that desiccant starts to collapse, become mushy, and particles can be pulled into the engine, as well as destroying sensors and different actuators that may be along in the system. Evap purge solenoid opens and closes. Vent solenoid opens and closes. They have to work in conjunction with each other to either pull vented air into the system to allow flow, or to close one side and pull head pressure on the fuel tank. There's a myriad of handshakes that they have to do with each other to make the system work. When you're constantly pulling the handle over and over and over and over again, and you're backing that fuel up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to get this top off all the way at the top. For what? There's a layer that's supposed to be on top of the tank for safety reasons, then it needs to be there. Once the first click hits on the handle, you are done. There's no more that you should be putting inside that fuel tank. Now, we can cover this further in a separate video where we actually break down the evap system and talk about the system itself and what ends up happening. But now I'm going to demonstrate how to properly put gas in your car so you don't screw your system up. Okay, the screen says remove nozzle and select grade. I am going to select V-Power Nitro because my car is tuned for that. Most of your cars are probably not. Your cars are 87. This has a 93 octane tune, so I will be running 93. I will insert my handle into the hole. On my Dodge truck, I have to leave it out a little bit because the fuel will hit the side of the filler neck and it'll actually jump back upside this right here and it'll stop it. Click, click, and then you got to keep sitting here messing around with this. But I know in my Dodge, the filler neck is shaped a little different. So I pull it out some to let it breathe a little bit more, and then I pull the handle. There's a sweet spot with those sensitive ones. This one you can put in all the way, pull the handle. Select 93, fill it. Now we're rolling. Literally what ends up happening is the fuel, when it gets full, it's going to back up in that tube and it's going to shut this diaphragm off inside, or it's going to stop that expansion of that balloon. We'll just say, for words of video ease, the balloon inside here, it'll shut that ballooning effect up of this diaphragm, and all of a sudden it'll stop. Bingo, done. My car's full. There's no reason to continue. Oh my God, $17.53. That number has to be at $17.60, or it has to be at 18. I gotta keep pumping. Pump, click, click. No, stop. You damage your fuel system when you do that. At this point, you will hang the gas pump back up. You'll grab your fuel cap, and you will click, click, click. You're done. Not just one, do it a couple times. Proper way to fill up gas.